Hello everyone. In this video, I shall discuss about curriculum and gender questions. So before switching to this, we shall understand certain key points which are so much important for having an in-depth idea about curriculum and gender questions. So let us proceed ahead. Now, let us first take education into consideration. What is education? We all know that it is a process by which we acquire something or we developed our behavior or our learning. Okay, our learning has been enriched. Is that clear? So when we talk about education, here just have a look. It is the process of facilitating learning or the acquisition of knowledge, skills, values, beliefs and habits. So in a nutshell, we can say that education is something that helps one to groom up, to bring about certain behavioral changes, to bring certain modifications, certain improvement. Okay, it enables a person to to reach to something that is desirable, like proceeding from unknown to known. Clear? So in case of educational institution, it is a place where people of different ages, gender, caste, creed, religion, socio-economic status, etc. gain education in a well-defined place and structured curriculum with some set rules and principles. So what do we understand by this? It is stated that educational institution is a place wherein learning is being taken place, implying that a large area or space is being given wherein all people, whether male, female or belonging to any categories, rich, poor, whatever the case may be, they come together under one roof, okay, to obtain education in a way that the curriculum structure is well framed out. It is well designed with certain rules and principles, norms. Clear? Now, talking about educational methods, it implies that it includes the teaching, training, storytelling, discussion, and direct research for providing large variety of learners. We understand that now in order to provide education in an educational institution, certain methods needs to be applied, isn't it? In order to transact, in order to deliver the information, in order to teach. Okay, in order to breathe out or to deliver the information to the learners. So certain methods are being applied wherein the teacher takes an initiative to transact the information to the learner. Clear? Now, along with these three key points, education, educational institution, educational methods, we have to know other key factors as well. Okay, so let us have a look at it. As per the topic of today's discussion, we have to underline gender in our day's discussion. Okay, so we have talked about education, we have talked about educational institution, we have also discussed about the methods. So under this specific topic, because we have to relate to the gender questions itself, so we have to know what gender implies. When we talk about gender, it is regarded as a social construct. Okay, this point, remember this point. It is regarded as a social construct that impacts attitude, roles, responsibilities, and behavior pattern of boys and girls, man and woman in all societies. Now, when we talk about gender, just clear it out in your mind that it is not stressing the biological features, but rather it is stressing on the social construct which is being influenced or which has an impact on where the child is being brought up, what culture the child belongs to, and what sort of behavioral changes or expectations are there in the society. So depending upon that, the gender tag is being provided. We shall be much more clearer when we discuss further. As of now, you just try to understand that gender describes the role, responsibilities, and expectations of man and woman in families, societies, and culture. Now, obviously, we all belong to a specific society, a specific family, a specific culture, isn't it so? And accordingly, the society in which we belong, the family to which we belong, and the culture that has been imbibed in us, or we have learned or acquired, they have certain bit of expectations from us. Okay, they have certain bit of expectations, and they also have certain set in the mind that they will perform this kind of duties. This kind of assignments or responsibilities are entrusted to this particular gender. So these are man-made, these are learned, these are acquired. Okay, if you're not clear, we shall, as we proceed ahead, you will, I am 100% sure that you will be clear with the concept of gender. All right, so let's see the next point. It stresses on gender roles and expectations are learned. Now here, as I said, gender roles and expectations are learned. It is not inborn. Okay, the roles and expectations for a particular gender is learned. Okay, it is learned where? It is learned in the from the society in which the child is belong to, from the family and the culture that they are associated with it. Okay, now it is learned through the process of socialization. So as a child, as we human, we interact with each other. We are social being, obviously. So as we are socializing, we are imbibing these genders in us. Okay, this social responsibilities, duties, or performance is all based on where and how we are being socialized. Clear? So we shall proceed ahead. I've already discussed about gender, isn't it so? Now, under this particular gender, we shall try to know about gender roles and many more. Okay, so let us have a look at the gender roles. Now, what do we understand by gender roles? It states that the particular economic, political, and social rules and responsibilities that are considered for men and women in a culture. So when we say roles, it implies that what? It implies the responsibilities that is expected from this particular person. In general, I'm saying, okay? Like, take for example, the roles expected from a teacher, the roles expected from a student, the role expected from a mother, and so on and so forth. So similarly, in case of gender also, it is expected that the boy will perform this sort of role, the girls will perform this sort of role. So it is based on their roles. Okay, clear? I hope it is clear. So everything depends uh, upon their being brought up in the society, in the family, and the cultural influence. Okay. Now, coming to the gender, now just be very clear with this. Okay, this is equality. We shall discuss about equity also. Now, this is regarding gender equality. Now, here the absence of discrimination of the basis of a person's sex in authority, opportunities, allocation of resources, or benefits and access to services. Okay, this should be on. Okay, on the absence of discrimination on the basis of a person's sex. Now, when we term as equality, we can understand that equal opportunity, that comes to our mind, isn't it? So similarly, when we talk about the boy and a girl, this equality, the opportunity that we are placing before the child, that is based on certain set rules. Okay, now if we are doing away with the set rules, then we are focusing on gender equality. We are not trying to discriminate between the two genders. All sort of resources, benefits, and the services, they can have an access to anything. Clear? So in this case, we are stressing on gender equality, but rather we hardly can find this sort of equality. There used to be differences in every workforce, in every environment, in every department to some extent. Clear? Now switching to gender equity. It implies that it is the process of being fair to women and men. Equity will lead to equality. Okay, when we say equity, it means having, being given equal status. Clear? Like, we are not trying to say that this is not meant for the boy, this is not meant for the girl. No. Fair decisions are being taken. Clear? Fair decisions are being taken. There is no biasness. Okay? So that's about equity. Switching to the gender awareness, it implies that the differences between man and woman are being made aware. Clear? We are made to understand that this sort of discrimination should not exist. Okay? So, Gender awareness helps to understand that there are social, socially they are determined that differences between man and woman exist, and therefore people are fighting against that, stating that such differences should not exist. Obviously, when we see that certain job assignments are being given, we find that the authority stating that this is lady, so the lady cannot be sent, she will not be able to travel far, long distance. So such basic things, okay, that are made to realize, okay, people are made to realize that because of this gender, certain bit of discrimination exists, and we are to decide to whom the assignment needs to be given. So in this case, we are made aware, isn't it? We are made aware that, oh, because I am a lady, I cannot do this particular job. This job is not assigned to me because of this. Clear? So that's it. It brings about awareness, okay? Gender awareness. Now, switching to the next, it is gender sensitivity. Now, in this case, it stresses that it is the ability to perceive existing gender differences and issues. Okay, so people are made aware that yes, there lies certain differences. Okay, and certain things cannot be given to him or given to her, so and so forth. So, what is the next step? The next step is to sensitize ourselves that, okay, this sort of assignments are not meant for girls, it is meant for the boys. So accordingly, the authority takes out certain strategies and actions to deal with it. So that's all about gender sensitivity. Clear? Now, coming to the gender analysis, it implies that when we say analyze means what? It is to analyze it, okay? After seeing the entire situation, we have to analyze it. Similarly, in this case also, it identifies the inequalities that arise from the different roles of man and woman, and accordingly what the authority does, the authority analyzes the consequences that is related to these inequalities. Clear? What for? In order to help them, in order to assist them to live life, okay, to have a better health and for their well-being. Clear? In other way, I can say that it helps us to analyze. We have already thought that, okay, this particular job is not meant for this particular sex. So in this way, it is already formed in our mind. It is already it's already rooted in our mind. So next time when such jobs comes up, we are now going to assign this particular job for this particular gender. So that way it helps us to sort out with the situational needs. Clear? That's about the gender analysis. Now coming to the gender mainstream, okay, you can say mainstreaming. It is the process used to ensure that women and men, okay, their concerns, both of their concerns and experience forms an integral part to the design and the way they implement, the way they monitor, and the way they make evaluations of the entire program, legislation and policies. So we are to stream it out that this particular gender has there is an expectation then that this particular gender will perform better in this particular category. Like take for example, normally we see that the girls are better in the linguistic category. Okay, this is generally now I'm not asking you to take it 100%. There might be some plus minus, but generally as per the research concerned, it is found that boys are very good in numbers, okay, the numerical calculations and all those, but whereas girls are better in the linguistic part. They can learn languages very fast. So that's how we try to categorize, okay, like basing on our generalized ideas. Clear? So coming to gender parity, it is concerned with like if suppose you have you see like with regard to enrollment, with regard to some like fitting in both the categories, then if we have taken 10 boys, we are to take 10 girls. Okay, so there is a way equality is seen, okay, in terms of numbers and proportion, whether it is a man, woman, or a boy or girl. If we are taking this many number of one gender, then we have to take that many in case of the other gender as well. Okay, so that is expected. That is actually expected in the education institutions or educational services or wherever. So we try to relate, okay, equalize the number. Clear? So that's all for today. I shall come up with my next session. I shall discuss about gender equality. Oh, sorry, the concept of gender. The concept of gender. Okay, I will define it in my next. So as of today, we have learned, we have understood that what education is, education institution, what are the methods, and how gender has been termed. Okay, how gender has been termed, and what are the things that comes under the gender, what are the things that we need to consider. Okay, so we shall meet again in my next class. Till then, stay fine, huh? Namaskar.